One of the 9/11 victims killed in the Pentagon crash was a Macon native.
Major Wallace Hogan was working as a general's aide. He was at his desk right where one of the hijacked planes crashed. Our Pepper Baker joins us live from downtown Macon to tell us how his memory lives on. Pepper.
Good morning, Caitlin and Aaron. As you can see, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office are already out here preparing for all the people who will be here in just a few hours to honor those who lost their lives during 9/11. Now, one victim in particular hits close to home, and I spoke to two old friends of Major Wallace Hogan about his contributions to our country. Every year on 9/11, Andy Greenway takes the time to honor his old friend, Cole Hogan.
I met Cole when he came off to school at Valdosta State, and we rushed Cole for Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity.
Mike Appling met Hogan playing football at First Presbyterian Day School.
Always getting into something. He had a Jeep, and that was his favorite vehicle. He said he was going to keep it for life, and I think he still had it. At 9/11.
Hogan spent 21 years serving with the Army National Guard, the Green Berets, and the Special Forces before working as a general's aide at the Pentagon.
He'd come home and say, well, I was in Panama, and what they have me doing now, I'm actually training soldiers for jungle survival. And we'd be like, wow, that's cool.
And then 9/11 changed everything.
Cole always was with that general, but that day stayed behind to finish up a phone call, and Cole and the secretary their office was in the direct impact of the plane.
Greenway and Appling attended Hogan's burial at the Arlington Cemetery in D.C. a month after the attack.
Pentagon, they draped that hole with a huge American flag, and so we stood there at the funeral and we looked up at that flag, and they did the 21 gun salute, and that's something I will never forget.
Hogan's memory lives on at First Presbyterian Day School, where the middle school history teachers share his story during their 9/11 lesson plans.
It's just cool for Cole's life that, like, yes, he died that day, but oh gosh, like, the story is going to keep going forever.
To know somebody from Macon, somebody from FPD that teachers we still have here actually know makes it a little more meaningful for him.
He did a lot of things that I don't know what he did. We'll never know what he did, but it was for the good of this country. And then he gave the ultimate sacrifice.
Now, the 7th and 8th graders at First Presbyterian today are honoring 9/11 by writing each victim's name in chalk on their sidewalks. And they started with Major Hogan's name written really big right in front of their high school. Live in Macon, Pepper Baker, 13 WMAZ News.
Thank you, Pepper, for his story. He was 40 years old when he was killed on 9/11.
Well, his wife, Pat Hogan, was a doctor with the Air Force. She now lives in Florida, but his mother is in her 90s and she still lives in Macon.
It's amazing how just that one moment staying behind to take that phone call changes everything.